Sup, my name is Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. Welcome to Blue Eye September 2016. Now, this is the TCG Meta Edition, where basically I will be, at the very end of the video, going into detail to the side deck, your matchups, everything like that, because there have been various amounts of people asking me to play Pot of Stupidity, as you guys like to put it, into the deck and just basically show what it would look like when I play it, not done that way, how I would like to play it, and there's really not too much I would change inside of the deck, to be completely fair. This is a maidenless version, so if you're into the maiden version, don't worry. I play maiden IRL, and I still feature that on the channel, but this is the one with Effect Veller. This card, honestly, I have to consider for my normal Blue Eyes. I'll show you why later in the video, but Ancient Blue Eye Spirit Dragon's going to basically just go off. He's going to go for the target effect with Dark Magical Circle. I'm going to go for the Get Out of Here effect to Silver Dragon, so that way Silver Dragon can't be targeted by Dark Magical Circle, and I get to get rid of the Internal Soul, which is going to constantly spam that Dark Magician. In retrospect, I probably should have went after Circle, but he would have tried to Rod, but of course Effect Veller in play. And then he goes for the Dark Magician. He can't target my Dragon, so that's always good. Goes for E-Call into a Shadow Mist of all things, which I'm just like, what the hell is Shadow Mist doing there? But okay. Go for White Spirit Dragon. Gonna target out the Dark Magical Circle this time. Go for the Heretic Sun Dragon. I'm giving up my resources, but it would have been game right there because, well, not game. It would have been close to it because all the amount of damage I was about to put into him. I'll be honest, I nabbed this replay because I was running out of time, and I figured it just shows a few things. You know, how do you play out of the hand like this? Well, I'm going to Effect Veller the hell out of that thing because he's playing the Minerva version, if I remember right. Is it the Minerva version? I'm not sure. I shouldn't be saying... Oh, he's got ABC Buster. Yeah, it's a Minerva version, which is... Ooh, it's a hell of a deck to go against. So, basically, I just want to show in situation of a dead hand how quickly the pace of the game can easily change. I don't know why I was like brain farting there, but just look at this. Look at this damage at 5,500. I'm trying to put as much damage into him as possible before the inevitable comes, which is the Judgment Dragon. As you and I both know. What did I say? We both know it's gonna come. He goes for the Ray in there. I'm gonna go for Ozurize now, so that way in case, you know, he goes for Michael, he can't target it, and then I'm safe. You get another Judgment Dragon in hand. And at this point, I'm just controlling the game state, thinking that he has a freaking spell card in hand, but nope. Go for Gospel here, going to go into Pot of Stupidity. And for those of you wondering, let me show you the 10 cards that got banished out. The Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon, 2 Sages, 2 cards of Confluence, the Ancient White Stone, 1 Twin Twist, 1 Melody, another Alternative White, and Trade-in. I'll be honest, I don't like this card in Blue Eyes because of this factor here. Not because I think it's a -10. It's not. You're getting 2 cards for pretty much a costless effect and speeding through your deck by deck-thinning the hell out of your deck. That's why this card is so good. But at the end of the day, without like something like Cypher and Lord Omega to start putting these cards back in the graveyard, I kind of get iffy on it, and I'm like, yeah, it's really fast and what it does, and it's amazing. See here, I'm figuring, okay, in case he has Honest, I'll just Felgrant it. That way I can put damage on him. I just can't attack directly, but I can attack his monsters there. He goes for the Judgment Dragon. Honestly, I was like, okay, you want to go for that, that's fine. So Gospel's in grave. I just wanted to make sure the Judgment Dragon didn't get effect off. And I suck up his card. He goes for the Judgment Dragon effect anyways because he had the second one. But that's cool. I don't know why he's running Wabaku. I just wanted to show how to play out of the bad hands and whatnot. And then I sack with the Gospel, but I had the Soul Charge, so it didn't really matter at the end of the day. So here's another one against another Dark Magician player. But I just wanted to highlight certain things with these replays, like certain situations with the new Pot of Avidity or whatever its TCG name is. I wanted to make sure I got across everything I needed to say for the video and got the footage I needed to get for you guys. But White Spirit Dragon going to bash out that Dark Magical Circle, so that way I don't have to worry about it. And he has the Apprentice Illusion Magician, which I'm going to Effect Veller. And then he has the Illusion Magic, so he'll still get the effect. At this point, I'm like, screw it. Go for Moonlight in case he tries to summon out a Dark Magician on the board, but that didn't pan out, so, you know, everyone makes mistakes, I guess. If you count that as a mistake, it wasn't a huge mistake, but it was just basically something that cost me at the end of the run. But alternative white going to be brought back by White Stone, and then he's going to have his whole thing. But I bring it back again because I'm a sacky piece of shit, and then I go into number 38, so that way, you know, he wants to play a spell card, it's not going to pan out well. Because I'll be honest, I was paying very close attention. I'm like, okay, if we go back one turn, he only has 2 cards left in hand, and I know he played this. Those last 2 cards are going to be the Dark Magicians. So if he tops deck a spell card, I'm able to lock it out without allowing him to do shit about it, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So having that knowledge and making your plays count, and sitting behind a boss monster without, you know, you'll be playing slower, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter if you're playing slower because of the simple fact you're controlling the game state. And that, see, I kind of screw up here, I'll be honest, because I was like, oh yeah, I could bring back Spirit Dragon and then use Spirit Dragon's effect. No, it doesn't work that way, Ryu. You're being an idiot today because you're too tired. Go home, go get sleep. I did sleep, it just, I was the kind of moment. It happens to the best of us. So this is what I was talking about. Being able to put Effect Filler right back into your hand it's so good. It's so fucking good. And then obviously Michael banish out. I'm going to Effect Filler. That's fine because now I can go Crystal Wing and nullify effect when he wants to go for effect, which is going to happen right there. I'm not going to allow that to happen, obviously, and that's going to be game. So just, it's so good. It's so good. Majespecters. Oof. God, I have a love-hate relationship with Majespecter. See, this is a misplay on his part. He should have waited till I had a special summon that was going to come out, so at least that way he was guaranteed to get 1 card from it. It would have been a 1-for-1 situation. In this case, it's not a 1-for-1 situation because I already seen what was going to happen, and I'm like, nope, not going to allow it to happen. He's got the Majespecter Cat with the set 3, takes out my monster, that's fine. I have a Twin Twister. And I'm going to play extremely smart. So I'll Twin Twister my Ancient Whitestone, even though I won't be able to card to consequence because Spirit Dragon. But that's okay because I have control of the game state. I bring back the Spirit Dragon, just have 4 cards in hand. It feels more comfortable in case I get a trade in. I don't want to trade this in. I want to trade in something else. I see the Pendulum Scales. I'm like, flip up Vanities. I'm just at this point just lock him out because he's not going to be able to get over my monster with anything that Majespecters run and just start slow poking him. Start regaining my resources because I don't have anything that's going to be able to out anything that he's going to have. So at this point I'm like, okay, let me play ballsy. I could shut off my card, bring back White Spirit Dragon, and just start spamming White Spirit Dragon. So I take out all of his resources, and I go for Gospel just to get that final extra 100 damage in it. But I will admit, if it wasn't for Vanities, I would not have had such control of that game. And this is the Metal Folk Gear Town thing I was talking about before, how good it is. And you're going to see that. But I'll be honest, I did not lose any matches outside of to a stall burn player, which it's stall burn. Let's be honest. Does anyone really count that, to be fair? It's not really a matchup I care about because I wasn't able to access my side deck because it was a single match. So I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to be completely blunt and honest with that. So here I shut off my Vanity's Emptiness for obvious reasons. I'm going to play the Twin Twist and go for the Michael, banish out his monster because I'll be able to banish out his back row, or so I thought, but the game ended right then and there. So basically what I'm trying to say is here, this is a prime example, don't use up all your resources in your hands, your grave, your field, whatever, until you can OTK. Play on that 1-for-1 situation, you're going to have a much easier time winning your matches. It's like I said, if there's a deck profile I post out and you guys don't 100% like it and you feel your version's better, I'm more than open to playing your version on the channel, featuring it, sharing my thoughts. I'm not that guy that's just going to say my deck profile is the best version. I always say my version is built for me first, change it to your liking. So I like to stick true to that and say that here again. So I'm going to explain why I'm not running Winter Cherries. I'm going to explain why there's the 15 card side deck that many times I don't ever show the side deck because of the simple fact I have Guide to Your Side, but we're going to go a little more in depth today. So this is the Blue Eyes version that most people will pretty much get used to seeing when you go against a TCG Blue Eyes, except usually now number 23 is not ran and one of the Sylvan Exceeds are used, if I could pull them up. I can never get Sylvan to pull up. There we go. All right. So let me show you the Sylvan that's actually pulled up. It's this guy here. It's the High Protector. So once per turn, you declare one card name. You declare it wrong purposely because you're not going to be adding it to your hand. You're going to send it to the graveyard. And if the card is sent from your deck to the graveyard by this effect, except during the damage step, you can detach one Exceed from this card, target one card on the field, and place that card either the top or the bottom. It's a walking Phoenix from Wind Blast. It's another option. I prefer the 2000 direct damage just for, extra output. Maybe you don't want to run Twin Burst. This is a great option still, nonetheless. I wanted to talk about it in regards to it. You don't really need rank 1s. That is a good rank 1 though, but you really don't need them, to be completely fair. With that said, 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, 3 alternatives, 2 White Spirit, 2 Maxi, triple Ancient Whitestone, 1 Priest with the eyes blue, 1 Whitestone of Legend, 3 Sage with the eyes blue, double effect filler. Pretty standard, really nothing different in the monster lineup. You're going to see this for most TCG builds is 20 monster count, the 3 Gospel, the 2 Pot of Desires, not 3, and I'm going to explain why. 2 is the perfect number because you only really ever need it to use once in this deck. And you basically use it when you're low on resources and you want to try to use it in a situation where you got most of your important cards out of the way and there's really not going to be anything too crucial that you'll be losing out on those 10 cards. Technically, you're not losing out on them. You're just basically moving them over to the banish zone to get 2 free cards that otherwise you would have to wait out 14 turns to get to that end result. That's the difference that people don't understand about it, and I understand why people don't like it. As I pointed out, I'm not a fan of it because of what it banishes out, but there are certain times that a deck can really abuse the living shit out of this card. I don't feel it needs to be in every single deck, but that's just my opinion. Some people feel like, just like Card of Demise, it's something to try in everything, and more power to you if it works for you. Not everyone's style is going to clash with it perfectly, and that's pretty much why it has such a high price tag it does now. 3 trade-in, 2 Carved Consequence, 1 Dragon Shrine. Dragon Shrine is kind of iffy. You only really need 1 for the situation if you need to send Whites on the graveyard. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, you don't care if it gets banished out. I was really considering not running it and just running Phoenix from Wind Blast, but I was like, you know what? Let me just have it in there just in case, extra speed. Triple Melody, 1 Soul Charge, double Twin Twist, double Silver's Cry, 1 Vanity's Emptiness. Some people choose not to run Twin Twist because meta matchups with Cosmo and whatnot. I still feel Twin Twist is pretty damn viable regardless, especially with Cosmo, with Cosmojo, with Cosmo Town. Those are key cards even though they'll get a search off Cosmo Town. Would you rather them shuffle their entire hand back and get something really crucial, or just get a search that is probably going to be a lot easier to deal with? To be completely honest, that's just my opinion. That's my stance on it. And 1 Vanity's Emptiness obviously is obvious as day. I said this before. Any real competitive deck is really going to want to try to get Vanity's Emptiness somewhere in there, whether it be in the main deck, whether it be in the extra deck. Now, I could run Upstart Goblin. That is another option to, make the deck 39 cards. But again, it's one of those situations, the deck is fast enough, you really don't need it. You want to make everything count. I decided to run Twin Burst Dragon for Cosmos mainly, for double battle phase, for just taking out stuff when you need to take it out. It also works really good in the mirror match. I will say that much. It really does. Ramming into a Blue Eyes and banishing out that Blue Eyes is huge thing. But granted, this card is still something you should consider if you don't want to run Twin Burst. Double Ajurai, double Spirit Dragon, standard. 1 Crystal Wing, 1 Michael, 1 Black Rose, Moonlight, standard. 1 Galaxy Eyes, I know I'm saying standard a lot. 1 Galaxy Eyes full armor, and 1 Cypher with number 38. Some people choose not to run Heretic Sun. I always recommend running Heretic Sun because it's too good. Number 23 is debatable because you could run the Sylvan High here, or you can choose just to run it. The Lancelot. You could also try to fit in the Spider. The Spider Exceeds, go into that whole thing, Deadly Sins, but to each their own. And then, of course, Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand. Some people choose not to run. I always choose to run because those rogue matchups that want to run basically something like Honest, you could easily shut it off from them being able to do it. It's a walking effect filler that has 2 uses, 2 times. So that's pretty much why. For the side deck, I'm going to explain my choices here. 2 Kaiju Sea Turtle, outs to pretty much everything that's not called Evil Swarms, or, anything stupid of that sort, but we have other outs to Evil Swarms. Basically, Kokimiro Drago, this is for Mirror Match, Phantom Knights, Evil Swarm, anything light or dark, Cosmos, Basically, as long as you have a dragon in your hand, which 90% of the time you should with this deck, and you summon Kokimir Drago, you pretty much have won the game, because it's something that they're not going to have an easy time getting over. Certain Cosmos will be able to get over it for obvious reasons. But light and dark monsters cannot be special summoned, which pretty much poops all over Blue Eyes. And that's why you need the Kaiju Sea Turtle for the mirror match, because if you see this, you need to be ready for it. 3, Alloy Adjusted Cycle Reader, mirror match, any random light decks. If a Light Swarm pops up, you target 2 lights, you banish them out immediately, and it just shuts them out. Flying Sea, you're going to use this for Phantom Knights, Evil Swarms, any rogue deck that's Exceed-wise, even Teller Knights, they're going to have a harder time dealing with this. You don't really, I wouldn't say I recommend it for, no, I do recommend it for Phantom Knights and Burning Abyss, because they can't Exceed Summon with it. I was about to say, oh no, they can use it to Exceed Summon. They can't, because it legit says the control of this card cannot Exceed Summon, so that is something to consider. 1 Fable Cat Sith, you basically discard quite a little bit here, and if you set in the Phoenix Wind Blast, it's a free destruction. A lot of Blue Eyes players have been teching this in as the 15th card to their side deck. I do recommend it for that reason too. It could break up the Domain, it could break up the Draco that someone uses against you, and you get 2 cards gone instead of the price of 1. So it just makes your discard outlet a lot better. Anti-Spell Fragrance. A lot of decks run on spell cards. Pendulum decks, even Blue Eyes, you can slow them down. White Spirit Dragon, pop, 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 pop. Phoenix Wind Blast, stack to the deck. You just slow down the game state for you. Basically, you go off ham, get everything you need, set it face down with Anti-Spell Fragrance, and just go off. And it's great. It honestly really is. The only thing is you need to have it up as fast as possible. That's the only downside, but with a deck like this, obviously, it's going to be a thing. Winter Cherries, I did say I was going to talk about it. Winter Cherries requires you running 3 Winter Cherries, an ABC Buster Dragon, a Dark Law, you know, basically Treat Toad, the big 3, if you would, to take them out. This deck cannot afford those 3 slots into its extra deck, or to its side deck currently at the moment. Granted, in the near future, if we were going to put Winter Cherries in, depending how the game, you know, changes up its pace when it comes to the next format, you could possibly drop 1 Draco, 1 Cycle Reader, and then, of course, the Cat Sith and the Phoenix Wind Blast to make room for that Treat Toad, that Buster Dragon, that Dark Law, whatever you want to go after. So that is something to consider. Hopefully this video was informative enough for the people who wanted, you know, the informative information side of things, and hopefully it was enjoyable enough for the people who wanted me to use Pod of Desires in a maidenless build, so hopefully everyone's satisfied. Don't worry, I know for the people who want the variant versions like Chaos Max and whatnot, those will be coming out next. I just don't want to flood the channel with all Blue Eye stuff, because you see I'm posting out like 4 or 5 deck profiles a week. I'm going to definitely get to it. It's just a matter of time. But you guys are the best, so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy the content, you're brand new, make sure to subscribe for more. I'm going to sign out for now, and I'll see you later. Peace.